So I'm here with Michael. He's a personal injury attorney. Now, we just finished our personal injury attorney presentation that explains how to stop lowball offers and win policy limit awards. What did you think about it?
I thought it was very insightful. I thought that the organization and the way that the information is presented would be very helpful in a number of cases that I'm looking at, not only in the personal injury context, but I deal with clients in disability cases as well as labor and industry cases.
The documentation is the same, by the way.
Exactly, because all of this stuff comes from the opinions of medical professionals.
Right.
And so it's about the organization and the way that the information is presented, being able to compartmentalize it, package it in a concise format,
now
and
let me
deliver that.
Now let me ask you specifically. Remember I said in the beginning, I said you're going to know exactly what causes lowball offers from the doctor's documentation and why.
Yes.
Is that not true? You know exactly what causes lowball offers now.
Yes, because they're performing the wrong tests.
In all the details.
That's right. They're performing.
And you know, and same thing, you now know what creates policy limit awards in exact detail now also, don't you?
That's right, yes.
That's what happened, okay.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing we talked about is, remember in the beginning I said the average attorney that only sees 2 cases a month generally loses over $200,000 a year. Remember I said that?
Yes, I do.
Can you see, after we covered all the documentation, can you see how that's true?
I think it would be more than that.
And you're right, I was just being conservative.
Right, absolutely.
By the way, how many cases, soft tissue injury cases do you do a month?
About 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 to 2.
Okay. Can you see how if your doctor's not documenting all these categories, you'll easily lose about $200,000 a year?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Real clear.
Frustrating results I
get.
Yeah.
But the good news is what?
That there's an alternative.
The alternative is what?
Is to do this method.
You know now how to pick a doctor that knows how to do this documentation to stop lowball offers, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything else any other comments about what you learned?
Just got a lot of work to do tomorrow to revisit some of those cases on my desk.
Pretty straightforward, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely appreciate it.
All right, I'm Dr. Paul, and we just finished our personal injury attorney presentation on how to stop lowball offers and win policy limit awards for the soft tissue spinal injury. We're here with Brandon. You've been an attorney for how long?
About 7 years.
7 years doing personal injury? Okay. What'd you think of the presentation?
It was pretty eye-opening.
Eye-opening in what way?
Just the tools that you can have as an attorney if the doctor does their job correctly.
Right. Can you see, let's be specific. Can you see now why you're getting stuck with lowball offers with the doctor's documentation?
Definitely.
Yeah. You now know why, exactly why, don't you?
Yeah, it gives you a really good idea of things you could have and don't have if you have the right doctor. Yeah.
Exactly. Can you also see how much the majority of the doctors are missing with what's called high sensitivity testing?
Definitely.
Has that been happening with you?
Yeah, it really has.
And so this has been directly affecting you with lowball offers then, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has.
How many, did you mind asking how many cases a month do you typically see soft tissue?
Probably 20, 30, 40.
Oh, that many?
Yeah.
So if it was, let's say the low end was 20, and would you say 20 of them don't have a disc injury or nerve injury or a mild concussion or fracture?
The majority do not, yeah.
Okay, so this directly applies to what what you deal with every day.
For sure.
So when we did the math, and we said if the average case is losing only has 3 out of 7 categories of the 10 documented, and we said if it was worth $1,000 a point, $7,000 a case, 20 cases, 2 times 7, that's $140,000 a month. Did that ring true to you?
Yeah, it makes you kind of sick, doesn't it?
Yeah, $140,000 a month over a year is that's over.
Do the math.
Yeah, that's over $1.5 million a year. Whoa. Good news is what?
The good news is there people know how to do it right.
Now that's right. Now you know exactly. Now you know what the doctors need to do, and then you got to find the doctors that know how to do that, don't you?
That is correct.
Can you see how that's going to change?
For sure. No, I'm excited. Yeah. That's exciting.
What was the biggest takeaway in closing? What would you say the biggest takeaway from the presentation was?
Just truly how important is the doctor's documentation. I mean, it really sets the stage of what we can or can't do.
Pretty much, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and we covered it item by item. You now know all 10 categories that's going to determine a policy limit award or lowball offer, don't you?
For sure, yes.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
All right, so we're here with Jack. He's a personal injury attorney, and we just finished our personal injury attorney presentation that explains how to stop lowball offers and win policy limit awards. And what did you think about it?
I thought it was excellent. One of the things we're missing is you talked about the 3 narrative deposition trial.
Right.
It's the narrative to so many cases settle, 90% settle prior to trial. And to have that narrative with the 12 steps that you outlined would be
Pretty important, isn't it?
very helpful.
Very important.
And we
Was
don't
that your
get-
biggest takeaway, the 12 steps in the narrative
well,
report?
There's a lot of different things.
What was your biggest takeaway? The biggest
Probably the putting the whole package together, like
the whole
with the 12 steps.
Yeah. That's
Mechanism
you can see
is-
that's pretty important, isn't it?
You know, defense always argues the mechanism of injury. Well, and they always use the word sprain, strain.
Right.
So if you can have something with the 12 steps.
Right.
And I have worked with Dr. Brian.
You're right.
A number
Well,
of times.
let me ask you. When I first started, I said, you're going to know exactly how to stop low ball offers. We told you exactly the steps to stop the low ball offers, didn't we? You now know with high specificity what causes low ball offers for soft tissue spinal injuries and how to stop it, don't you?
Yeah, and I believe that'll work.
Right. Now, the other thing I said is, we'll also show you the exact steps of what causes policy limit awards. We showed you that, didn't we?
Right.
Now you know all the now you know it from the doctor's perspective, not the legal perspective. What's the doctor's documentation that's necessary to stop low ball offers or win policy limit? Is that not true?
That's true. So, question for you.
Yeah.
What's it cost to document the altered intersegmental mobility issue and issue?
Well, the doctor can do it on his own. He can measure it on it. Remember, I told you I measured it on my own.
Okay.
So
right.
no
When
big
you first
deal.
started, that's true.
Yeah, no big deal.
So
No big
you
deal.
don't need that computer program.
No.
Okay. Okay.
But you can see how to stop low ball offers, win policy limit awards. There's 10 major categories. The less you have of those 10 major categories,
Right.
the more toward a low ball offer you get.
And I would say out of them, I maybe get two. One is
Yeah.
subjective, and the other one would be maybe the mechanism.
And
in
how many
injury.
cases did you say you do a month, soft tissue?
Well, just plain old sprain.
Soft tissue, yeah.
would be maybe two. we
Okay.
get in a month.
Can you see how when we...
Most of them have some other.
Right now,
component
I'm
to
just
it.
talking
Yeah.
soft, okay. So can you see how I added up the money and it said the average attorney that only sees 2 cases a month easily loses about $200,000
Right,
a year.
I'm in
Do you
that
see?
category.
Do you see how true it was?
Right.
We added it right up. And then imagine adding that to all your other cases. Imagine adding all this documentation to all your other cases,
Right.
not just the soft tissue.
I may even take a few more sprain strain.
That's what I
because
would do.
We screen those.
That's what I would do. I would just add it right in.
Right.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
presentation.
Great, thanks. So I'm here with Kearney, and Kearney, you've practiced personal injury, right? You're a lawyer.
Yes.
You're a lawyer, okay. And so here you are with our presentation. We covered how to stop low ball offers and win policy limit awards. What'd you think about it?
Very informative, very effective. I think it's going to be very helpful on the cases that I've got that are just getting into treatment. It doesn't really help me now that.
Now you've been in practice a little while, right?
I'm 47,
20 years.
47 years.
Have you ever heard, in 47 years of practice in law, have you ever heard somebody put together, as well as we put it together, exactly what it takes to stop low ball offers for the soft tissue spinal injury and win policy limit awards?
I wouldn't be still working after 47 years if I had.
Exactly, yeah. What was your biggest takeaway? What was your, after hearing all that, what was your biggest takeaway?
Basically being informed of the additional injuries that are never discussed by treating physicians. They just go for the cervical strain.
Right.
Or
And you know the difference now, don't you?
big time.
Matter of fact, you not only know the difference in every category: injury, all the top 5 financial drivers, the 4 categories to defend a case, the 12 categories to put the case together and tell the story. You know all of them in great detail now, don't you?
I have learned
Yeah.
more specifics than I have in 47 years of practice.
47 years in practice. And you've also unfortunately learned how much money attorneys are losing by not knowing this documentation or working with doctors that do know it.
That's why I could have retired a lot longer.
Right, yeah. And in your case, what was that? What did we come up when we tallied the numbers? Was that over $200,000 a year?
Oh yeah.
What would you say, over 500,000?
In a good year, it would have been. Yes.
So easily over $200,000 or $300,000 a year you've been losing in 40 plus years just because you've worked with doctors that didn't know this.
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You're right, unfortunately.
This was
Yeah.
extremely informative, and I'm very glad that you invited me to come to your seminar
I
tonight.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot.